Well, I just wanted to tell you a bedtime story tonight. Oh, I love bedtime stories. Well, this one's about a family that lives together. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, sweet as caramel drizzle. This family, they lived back in covered wagon days. And they had a covered wagon, by the way. But they operated a B&B. Oh, Tom, I love B&Bs. Ah, they fluff your pillows. Serve you chamomile tea in a pot. They sure do. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing, though. This B&B stands for Bordello of Blood. The Bloody Benders were a family of peculiar people who lived in Kansas in the 1870s. They operated a general store and a bed and breakfast along a stop on the Great Osage Trail. A trail that had become infamous because many of those who dared to travel it were never seen or heard from again. Well, over time, this resulted in tensions between the pioneers and the local Osage Indians, whom the pioneers suspected of murdering the hordes of missing travelers. But then something happened. Bodies began floating down the Drum Creek River. First one, then another, then another. Except the victims didn't have arrows in them from Indians. They had their brains bashed in with a sledgehammer. In the winter of 1872, a family in Independence, Kansas went to visit Iowa, but were never heard from again. Their neighbor, a man named Dr. Henry William York, grew concerned and went looking for them. He also was never seen again. Well, Dr. York's brother was a state senator, and his other brother was a colonel stationed at nearby Fort Scott. Colonel York took 50 men with him and began a long, brutal search across the Great Plains. The search went on for weeks. The weeks turned into months. One cold and snowy night, he sought lodging at the Bender's Inn, and was welcomed by Ma Bender and Pa Bender and the hostess, Kate Bender, a cultured and alluring young woman of 23 years. Kate Bender was a clairvoyant and fortune teller. She invited the colonel to have a seat at the dinner table, and she would read his tarot cards to him and help him find the missing travelers. Well, before the colonel walked over to the table to sit down, he noticed something. A curtain behind the chair with a silhouette. He realized that it was her imbecile brother Johnny, and he appeared to be holding a sledgehammer. Well, the colonel said that he had forgotten something, and he quickly left the Bender's Inn. And when he returned a short time later with his army of men, the Bender family had vanished. The colonel began searching the cabin, And beneath the chair where Kate had enticed him to set, he found a trap door that dropped to a pit below. And when the pit of horrors was excavated, various people's body parts were found, including a young girl who was buried alive. And whatever happened to the bloody benders, you ask? Well, they vanished without a trace, leaving all their belongings behind, even their pots and pans. And what became of the corpses of the people killed by the benders, you ask? Well, the local people gathered up body parts from at least 20 individuals, and they carried them to a nearby hill called Bender's Mound and buried them there in a mass grave. And to this day, it is said to be haunted by the souls of those killed by a family of ghouls. Well, who can say what happened to the bloody benders? Maybe they went back to Transylvania for their family reunion. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.